What's up, everybody? We have a bit of news about PayPal today, the stock that everyone loves to hate, or maybe they just hate. We've also had a bit of a rebound in Molina, and I'll just give you my opinion on things. If you get value out of the video, subscribe to the channel. If you want to support what I do, grab my Google Sheets template, join the Discord, consider following me on Patreon. Link to that will be down below. Now, let's start with the PayPal news. Bloomberg reported this morning that the company has held meetings with banks as it has received unsolicited interest from suitors. At least one large competitor is considering an acquisition of the entire company, while others are looking at specific parts of PayPal. The report is unconfirmed, but that was enough to basically send PayPal stock up 10% intraday. It's given back some of those gains, so on the day, stock up about 5%. It's a pretty red day overall, so clearly people are excited here. And if you just scroll through something like StockTwits or X, if you just want to get a quick gauge at sentiment, you basically see everyone is bullish, everyone is excited about this. Just a couple weeks ago, I made a video about PayPal. Everyone was bearish. There were a number of people on YouTube who were saying how they were selling their PayPal stock. At the time, we were just under $40 a share, and I said that I was making this a full position for me, which is roughly 5%. I'm glad that other major players are seeing value here, but this is just a reminder. Do not let your opinion about a stock be too influenced by the current market price. And that holds true whether the current market price is extremely exuberant or if there's a ton of pessimism. Our process, our method, it doesn't change. We have to look at the business, look at the industry, and come up with what are reasonable assumptions about the future. Payments is an extremely competitive place, and PayPal has been losing market share. But I just want to remind you of the quick overview of why I made a pretty big bet here at $40. This past year, this company had the highest revenue it's ever had. They had the most operating income they have ever had. Yes, the growth rate has come down massively and the business is quite stagnant, but that doesn't mean the company is worthless. Most things have a price. We have to have a method of determining a fair value or coming up with what we think the return on our investment is going to be at the price that we're offered today in the market. Sentiment can change very quickly. And as I showed in my last video, when I'm assuming just 2% growth on the top line, so essentially the top line growing under the rate of inflation, no real growth, operating margins and even their free cash flow margin pulling back slightly from what they are right now, then if I just give this company a 10 times multiple, I'm looking at a 19% annualized return over 5 years, a 134% return over 5 years. If I reduce the multiple from 10 to 8, if you think 10 is too much, even at an 8 times multiple, this stock is a double over 5 years if these assumptions come true. Even with mediocre operations, I think you can have great returns in this stock. And I think there's several potential upsides here that aren't being fully priced in. Venmo growing 20%. Venmo has done very well, and it's still not very well monetized. Agentic commerce, that isn't going to drive growth probably in the next year, but integrations with PayPal and LLMs is something that I'm assuming offers no real benefit to the bottom line of PayPal. If that's not correct, if they're actually successful in one of these segments, you could be looking at returns that are closer to my bull case down here. It's interesting to see how quickly a story like this can change sentiment. We'll see if these are just rumors. Maybe there won't be any offers here. I am interested to just know who is the company that's interested in buying the entirety of PayPal. But regardless, none of this really changes the intrinsic value of the business. None of this affects my opinion on the company, on the risk reward of PayPal stock. So what am I doing on this news? I'm doing nothing. I bought my position in PayPal. I'm happy with the holding I have. I think risk reward is good. The stock can move up or down 10% in the middle of the day tomorrow as well. And unless something is fundamentally different about the business, I'm probably going to do nothing then too. Now, for just another quick reminder of how silly and irrational the market can be at times, Molina Healthcare. This is a company I've talked about numerous times on the channel. I said when it was under $130 recently, I was buying very aggressively. This is now one of my largest holdings. But what has actually changed from 2 weeks ago to today? I mean, the stock in this time is up over 25%. There's really been no news in this time at all. The last important information on this stock was earnings over here, which obviously the market hated. It was down 30%, and yeah, it wasn't a good report. We talked about it on the channel, but obviously I'm bullish on the company I was buying down here. I think the normalization in earnings is close to inevitable. And since then, there has been no material news on this company at all. The price is just 25% different. Now, obviously, I have no ability to predict where this stock will go in the short term. Maybe it will go back down, maybe it will keep going up. Who knows? My point is simply, if you just look at the chart, you look at the current price, and you let that influence your opinion on value too much, then you won't act on opportunities when they present themselves. The market price is just the price that is balancing buyers and sellers in that moment. And buyers and sellers are influenced by very human emotions of fear and greed. When those emotions get out of balance on either end of the scale, you can get prices that are very disconnected from value. And that gives us as value investors opportunities. For me, I want to determine what I think value is. I want to block out the noise. I act on the things that I think are cheap. I accept the fact that I'm simply going to be wrong sometimes. That's an inevitability when we invest in markets. Sometimes we miss what's going on. Sometimes our bear case is the case that ends up playing out. So for that reason, I don't want any single investment to be too large of a percentage of my portfolio, but I'm not afraid to swing and buy when everyone is being fearful and running away from a stock. Just to quickly talk about some other movers in the market, Mastercard down pretty significantly on the day, about 6%. Visa as well is down. Both of these companies down a little more than 10% over the past year, only up 40% over the last 5 years. So even though these have been pretty much some of the best performers in the payments space, even they haven't done all that well. Some people have asked, what are my thoughts on Mastercard? I'm just going to bring them into my spreadsheet here, load this up. This is going to pull in a bunch of fundamental data over the past couple decades for the company. And even though Mastercard and Visa have been completely dominant businesses, they've never been all that cheap. You certainly have to pay up here, trading roughly 30 times earnings. But if you look at enterprise value to operating income, a bit less, 23 times, adjusted free cash flow yield, getting close to 4%. For a business like Mastercard, this is actually about as cheap as it's been in the past decade. People have been talking for years about all the things that could disrupt Visa and Mastercard, but still today, their networks are as strong as ever. They're still effectively a duopoly. I don't think that's going to change anytime soon. I would just like to buy them for cheaper. If I assume 10% growth on the top line, margins stay close to where they are now, they continue to pay back a similar amount to shareholders via buybacks and dividends as they're doing currently, and if you think a 25 times multiple is fair for this company, then yeah, you'd expect a 12% annualized return over 5 years if these assumptions come true. That's a pretty decent return, and you know, if you think they're going to do 12% on the top line and a little bit better in terms of the payout and operating margins, then yeah, you could look at this as a double over the next 5 years. So I understand why people would be interested in Mastercard or Visa at these prices. I certainly don't think it's a bad investment. It's just not cheap enough to me. Another stock that's dropped a ton and I think is quite interesting is Adobe. They made a new 52-week low today. Stock really can't catch a break. It's basically been a one-way trip down. I'm definitely considering buying here. I think the company is just getting too cheap, but they are reporting earnings in a couple weeks. And I think I'm just going to wait, see what they report, see what they have to say for the next year, and I'll go from there. If the stock jumps 20% when they report earnings and the price just moves away from me, that's fine. It's okay. There's always going to be stocks we think about buying, we don't pull the trigger on, the price moves up, and we just miss out. So I think we'll end the video here. Just keep it as a very short sanity check in the market today. Novo Nordisk, a stock I've talked about before that I don't own. They're down 16% here, quite a bit. It's a new 52-week low for them. This is basically the lowest the stock has been in roughly 5 years. We'll take a look at this soon on the channel. I'll let you know if I'm still staying away from this one or if I think it's starting to get interesting. As always, if you got value out of the video, subscribe to the channel. If you want to join my Discord or grab my Google Sheets template, consider following me on Patreon. Link to that will be down below. If you own PayPal stock, what are your thoughts on the news today? And let me know, who do you think would be a buyer of PayPal here? And I hope to see you all in another video.